Permission denied trying to run Python on Windows 10. Seems as though an update on Windows 10 overnight broke Python. Just trying to run Python version returned a permission denied error. None of the three updates, KB4507453, KB4506991, or KB4509096 look like they'd be the culprit, but the timing of the issue is suspicious. Rather than messing with rolling back, I'm hoping there's a simpler fix that I'm missing. The permissions on Python are RWXRXRX and I haven't changed anything besides letting the Windows Update reboot machine after installing last night's patches. According to the system information, I'm running 10.0.18362. Should also note that this is happening whether I try to execute Python from gitbash using run as administrator or not, and if I try using PowerShell, it just opens the Windows Store as if the app isn't installed, so I'm thinking it can't see the contents of my folder for some reason. I've also tried to reinstall Python 3.7.4, but that didn't help either. Is there something else I should be looking at?
As far as I can tell, this was caused by a conflict with the version of Python 3.7 that was recently added into the Windows Store. It looks like this added two stubs called python.x and python3.x into the %user profile %updata /local /microsoft /windowsapps folder, and in my case, this was inserted before my existing Python executables entry in the path. Moving this entry below the correct Python folder partially corrected the issue. The second part of correcting it is to type manage app execution aliases into the Windows search prompt and disable the store versions of Python altogether. It's possible that you'll only need to do the second part, but on my system I made both changes and everything is back to normal now.
Research. All of the files in %user profile %updata /local /microsoft /windowsapps are placeholders that point to files that are actually located somewhere in C column /program files /windowsapps, which happens to be denied permissions completely. It appears I was on the right track with my statement made in my duplicate of this problem. Seems like they didn't really think about the distribution method screwing with permissions. Source: cannot install Plen and gitbash on Windows Store. Permissions are screwed up royally because of the Windowsapps distribution method. Interestingly, it says that the users group can read and execute files, as well as my specific user, but the administrators group can only list folder contents for some hilariously unfathomable reason. And when trying to access the folder in File Explorer, it refuses to even show the folder contents, so there's something fishy about that as well. Interestingly, even though executing Python in CMD works just fine, the Windowsapps folder does not show up when listing the files in the directory it resides in, and attempting to navigate into the folder generates a permission denied error. Attempting to change the permissions requires changing the owner first, so I changed the owner to the administrators group. After that, I attempted to change the permissions for the administrators group to include full control, but it was unable to change this, because access was denied. Duh, micro sucks. That's what we're trying to change. This permission error happened for so many files that I used Alt+C to quickly click continue on repeat messages, but this still took too long, so I cancelled the process, resulting in this warning message popping up. And now I am unable to set the Trust Installer user back as the owner of the Windows Apps folder, because it doesn't show up in the list of users/groups/built-in security principles/other objects. Actually, according to this tutorial, you can swap the owner back to Trust Installer by typing in tservice/Trust Installer into the object name text box. Solution: there is no solution. Basically, we are completely screwed. Classy move, Microsoft.
This appears to be a limitation in gitbash. The recommendation to use wintypython.exe worked for me. See Python not working in the command line of gitbash for additional information.
This issue is far too common to still be persistent, and most answers and instructions fail to address it. Here's what to do on Windows 10. Type environment variables in the Start search bar, and open Edit the System Environment Variables. Click Environment Variables. In the System Variables section, locate the variable with the key path and double-click it. Look for paths pointing to Python files. Likely there are none. If there are, select and delete them. Create a new variable set to the path to your Python executable. Normally this is c:\users\your username here /optata/local/programs/python/python38. Ensure this by checking via your File Explorer. Note: if you can't see Optata, it's because you've not enabled viewing of hidden items. Click the View tab and tick the Hidden Items checkbox. Create another variable pointing to the scripts directory. Typically it is c:\users/your username here /optata/local/programs/python/scripts. Restart your terminal and try typing python, python3, or python.exe.
If you want to see more, please consider subscribing.